Greetings, my name is Chris Butts. I'm here today to help you set up your materials in Google for the Idaho Coaching Network. First things first, you need to be logged into Google. So if you haven't done that yet, please pause now and take care of that. The other thing that you're going to want set up to make this go as smoothly as possible is to already have your unit plan template up and open. This is a view-only Google Doc that you will access through Schoology Module 1, and in that Module 1 you're also going to have this assignment tracker that you can open up. So you're going to want both of those open and to be logged into your Google account. Once you're in your Google account, you're going to want to get into Google Drive because that's where we're going to organize all of your materials today. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. I like to click on this little grid right here and then click on Drive. If that doesn't work for you or you can't see it up there, you can always search Google Drive, and there it is. I can click on that. If I'm already logged into my Gmail account and I click on Go to Google Drive, it'll take me straight there. If I'm not, it'll prompt me to sign in. I'll sign in, and here I will be. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in my Google Drive, and I want to stay organized this year, so I'm going to create a new folder by clicking the New button, and I'm going to click Folder here, and I'm going to name it the way they recommend I name it in Schoology, which is Butts Network Portfolio. And I'll click Create. You'll notice that this folder is at the top level of folders. I have a lot of other things that I could stick it into, and I really recommend you put it at the top of your folder hierarchy for the year because you'll be getting into it a lot. So just for ease of use, that's what we recommend. Of course, do what works for you. The first thing I'm going to do with my folder is share it because sharing is caring, and because I want feedback and resources from my phenomenal coach. So in order to do that, I can right click and it'll bring up this share option, or I can just click on that little head with a plus sign next to it, and the same menu pops up either way. The name or email address of the coach that you share it with is going to change depending on the region that you live with. And rather than read all of those off now, I'm going to ask you to contact your coach about that to get that information. So right here, I will enter idahocore3@gmail.com. This is only going to pertain to some teachers and coaches in the state, so don't just blindly copy that. Put in your coach's appropriate address and click Send, and it will share it with them. And you'll see the little head popped up there inside of my folder to let me know that it is actually shared. So the next step is to go into the folder, and what's great is now that the folder is shared with the coach, everything I create in here is going to be shared with my coach as well, and that makes it easier for me, so I don't have to share everything individually. So we're going to start by making a reflective notebook that we will reflect and write in, and our coach can respond to. So to do that, we'll click the New button here. I want to make a new Google Doc, so I'll click there, and I'm affirming that I do want to create it in that shared folder so I know where it is. So you'll notice this new tab pops up for this untitled document, and I'm going to rename it yet again Butts Reflective Notebook, and I will get to work on that later. But now when I click back in my folder, there it is, which is pretty cool. Alright, that's 2 of the 4 tasks finished already. If this is really challenging for you, I recommend standing up and doing a little victory dance because you're halfway there. The second half, it's a little bit trickier because they're multi-step processes, but the great news is that it's a very similar process for each document. So once you get it with the first one, the second one should be easy peasy. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a copy of the unit plan template so I can work out of this all year. And you'll notice here it says view only, so I can't change it. And if you request access, it won't be given to you because we want you to make your own copy of it. If you got access and changed it, then everybody would see your changes, and we only want you and your coach to see your changes right now. So I'm going to click on make a copy, and again, I'm going to name it my last name so my coach can find it and I can find it easily. So there it is. And so it opened up. So the next thing I want to do is make sure that this is actually in my folder. Because I made a copy, it doesn't automatically populate in my folder, so I have to actually move it in there. So there's a bunch of different ways to do that, but I think the easiest is to go into Drive, and there it is, and I could click and drag it in there that way. Another thing, if it doesn't pop up here, is I could click on Recent, and it'll pop up again, but you'll notice those other folders aren't here. So I find my network portfolio, and I click and drag it that way, which is pretty slick. And do I want to share it, that portfolio, with my coach? Absolutely. So in there it goes. You'll notice it's still here. It's still one of my recent documents, but when I open up that portfolio, my unit plan template's in there. Woohoo! So last thing I need to make a copy of is the assignment tracker. So I can quickly and easily look at all the assignments and go back to them if I need to. Second verse is the same as the first. This is a view only document, so I will make a copy of it. I will put my last name at the beginning of it, and I will click OK. My copy, and there it is, identical to the first. And then again, I'm going to have to move it. So it's not in my folder. I go up to my drive. There is my assignment tracker. I'm just going to drag it in there like that. Yes, I want to share it with my coach. And there it is. I already have 3 tools ready to go for the year. I have my reflective notebook, I have my assignment tracker, and I have my unit plan template. And this is a great time. If you have any other resources that you think might come in handy, then this is your portfolio, is your place to hold on to them, and you can correspond with your coach about how and where the both of you want to organize things, so they know how to respond to you accordingly. So I hope this screencast was helpful, and happy trails.